Blessed love to one and all. As we definitely do give thanks continually to the life giver and the keeper of life, Kadamawe, Haile Selassie the First. And a blessed and wonderful uprising, a blessed and wonderful morning. No, we're not live, but we're definitely alive. Hon.Priest Isaac with you, of course, just giving thanks for your presence with us. And I'm here to, of course, just give you an update as we continually do as it relates to our essay competition. This video being produced and uploaded on the 6th of March, today being the anniversary of the independence of Ghana. Ghana's independence, the 6th of March from 1957. So we give thanks for even that as well. And of course, let me just say before it slips me at any time whatsoever, that we will be definitely broadcasting the full 3-day African Heritage Conference that took place just a few days ago in the Bahamas. So this is this Sunday, which will be what Sunday is, I think is the 11th day of March. We will be definitely broadcasting the full conference, the Akefran. Of course, you know, Akefran is that school there in the Bahamas that is doing mighty works. Obviously, they were the sponsors of this mighty African Heritage Conference. So we will be broadcasting again the full 3-day conference. Akefran International Academy, you know, presents or presented at that time the African Heritage Conference. And that was just a few days ago, February 2018, NASA, Bahamas. And of course, definitely this is just a memorial booklet as such of such an event. So this Sunday, right on Radio Anu, right here on Radio Anu, because you were actually listening to Radio Anu a moment ago, right here on radioanu.com, radioanu.com. For those checking this on the YouTube, of course, all the links will definitely be in the description below. So you could just go straight into the description and press the button and what? You're right here with us here on radioanu.com. And of course, again, so that's Sunday, midday on Sunday. That's 12 noon on Sunday. We will be bringing forth that whole 3-day event. Marvelous event, you know. We had many different speakers from many different parts of the world. We had the Honorable Priest Zebulon Anafo from Ghana, who I myself did a wonderful interview with, which I will be sharing with you as well. We had Dr. Magina Lynch coming out of London. We had Brother Alim El Bey, which many of you would be definitely familiar with, and myself and other individuals who came and expressed the wealth of knowledge that they have. Now, to our essay competition, let me also give thanks to Brother Dwight Doherty. Brother Dwight Doherty, he has given us a contribution towards such the essay competition for African History Month. Brother Dwight Doherty, contributed, what was it now? It was 65 United States dollars currency. That's 65 United States dollars currency. And of course, we'd like to say a very special thank you also to Sister Jade, who was definitely not only contributed, you know, but has assisted us specifically even within our presentation when we went to the Bahamas, even in the establishment of our PowerPoint and different little communication. So she has definitely been on the battlefield with us. And of course, we're very thankful for her as well. And also all those who have even contributed previously, we are also thankful for what you have done, even in assistance with that. Now remember, the essay competition, as I said, although February is gone, the so-called deadline, as they call it, for the essay competition is definitely Friday, the 9th of March. And as I said before, what this competition is, the reason why we do this every year is because our whole intention is to reach the mind of the children so that they could comprehend themselves, to know themselves. African History Month, African Heritage Month. An essay is given, what does African history mean to you? What does your African heritage mean to you? And as I would always say, the answer for that more than likely is that African history and heritage doesn't really mean too much to me, but whatever gift you may have to offer, I may like to, get one of those, So you see, right around here now, it's election time. We're having elections right now. Well, not we, but they're having elections right now in the nation of Antigua and Barbuda. Is just some information I'm looking for here. As I said, we're not live, but we're definitely not dead. Okay, here is what I was looking for. Yeah, from Sister Jade. The Victory of the People Movement, LLC. I had to really definitely, mention her movement for you, because she has a very serious movement taking place there in Brooklyn, New York. Victory of the People Movement, an educational company dedicated to addressing the self-defined, multifaceted needs of the African diaspora, by offering, undoing internalized oppression trainings, personalized racial wellness coaching, and culturally responsive educational solutions dedicated to eradicating anti-blackness. We create healing and empowerment of our community. Okay, so you could get an understanding of exactly the type of work that she's doing there in Brooklyn. So as I was saying now, as far as the essay competition itself, you see, for example, as I was saying, right now, they're having elections, and the cry from some that are opposing some is that, they're giving out money, and they're giving out laptops, and they're giving out tablets, and trying to buy a vote. This is the cry. We're getting to Solomon. Take it easy. Trying to buy a vote. Now, as I've been saying, we have the tablets in our hands. Now, I will tell you clearly, even as it relates to this island specifically, the response has been poor so far. Now, here it is. We have it's a Voyager tablet, RCA, specifically. Let me give you the dots and stats. 7-inch 7-inch multi-touch display, 1024 times or by 600 HD resolution, Android 6.0, 16 gigabyte storage, compatible with Google Play, front camera, battery life up to 6 hours, and this is the same because they're identical. In fact, what it was that one prize was supposed to be somewhat less than the other prize, but I decided no, we're going to make them equal. So just a little rundown for those who may have lost track of exactly where we are as it relates to the essay competition, just to give everyone a clarity of exactly the stats. We have two groups. We have the junior group, and the junior group, their ages are from 6 to 9, and the intermediate group, their ages are from 10 to 13. And the junior group, they are supposed to literally give us their essay is between 100 and 150 words. What does African heritage mean to me? And the intermediate group, their essay is between 150 and 200 words. What does African history mean to me? I know history/heritage mean to me. No, I don't think that is too hard. It sounds quite simple to me. And for their effort, both groups, this is the first prize. First prize for the junior group, the first prize for the intermediate group. And that is it. Now, obviously, the fact that you have an intermediate group, you would say, so where is the senior group? you know. Now the senior group does exist, you know, but as I said, we go along with the seriousness of the community at large, both the national community and the international community. Now, the very same work some of you see me do on the YouTube and listening to radioanu.com is the very same work and maybe more intense work that I do in the land of Antigua. I am telling you. And although, no disrespect to no one, although the contribution from the international community has been very small, obviously, I don't have the full right here, but it's, I could give you off my head, $365. You know, I mean, give thanks. I'm very thankful, you know, very thankful. Don't get me wrong at all. Because I'm showing you that is more than even the contribution from even the same government officials, the same government that you see giving out these things, giving them away free, they say. And even not just the government, you know, I ain't leaning on no one or pulling down no one. All the politicians in general, they're giving things. Don't make them fool you. But when we went to them and asked them in humility for the very same things, we didn't get this from no politician. It's the same 365 that bought this and still will pay for the venue that we have our prize giving ceremonies. And of course, as I said, the interviews and the advertisements that we put on the radio to make sure the word gets out, you know. So I'm just showing my listeners and showing those who watch that we already have the first prize, and for the moment, the prize for the intermediate and the junior groups, you know. And I'm telling you, the deadline is just a few days from now, you know. Now, as I said, African history is not just February. African history is every minute and every second. And, you know, you could say in our mercy, we could extend the so-called deadline, you know. But how serious are we as a people? You know? And as I said, those who contribute, I'm very thankful. 365 is the cycle. 365, so I'm going to put you aside. Don't let nobody lean on your good-hearted doing. The rest now, that's what I'm saying. We're very poor in our response to important things. I clearly showed you the gifts. You could see exactly the process that we are going through, you know. And I must say, obviously, if you're following along the trend of the whole mystic vibration, you could see that we are directly involved in a lot of international works, you know. So at the same time, even the essay competition, this is why we extended the deadline all the way into March, because we knew that we had certain responsibilities that we had to definitely take care of even within the time. We just returned to Antigua, basically. We're doing an interview tomorrow with the national television station, highlighting our gifts and letting them know that the essay competition is coming to an end. You know, we have a few radio interviews that we have to do today, tomorrow, and even Thursday, you know, that we have already booked. You know, you got to pay to book these radio programs, you know. So I'm just showing you that the work is continuing. It's no jokey, lay down, sit down business, you know. And to be honest, many of us, I'm telling you straight, we are not serious. I am so sorry that I have to say that sometimes. We ain't serious. We talk too much. Talk too much. Sometimes I'm not even interested to hear what people have to say. Because we talk, whether it be good or bad. Because talk. But when it's time for action, nothing going on. And then we say, oh, the children are going this and children are going that. And some of you throw away your money in foolishness. You could contribute. You could contribute to something that makes sense. I ain't Jesse James, nobody robbing you here. Look, we're doing it live in front of you. What's the problem? I don't need nothing from nobody, you know, man. I really don't. So come on, let us step up to the game and get more serious in this, man. Let's stop joking around, man. It's disgusting. But anyway, I don't think I'll be putting anything on the board. You could get all the information in the description, how to contact me. You know how to contact me by now. I mean, I've been meeting people all over the place. Priest Isaac, wow, I watch all your videos on YouTube all day. Yeah, all day. All of them. Yeah, man. Tell me what, you have a contact number I could contact you, anything, any email, anything like that? You watch all? Man, sometimes I feel I put it up there too much. You know? But anyway, you know how to contact me. That's what I'm saying. You know how to contact me. You can WhatsApp me, of course. Area code 1268-728-3162. You know, and of course you can email me Priest Isaac 27 at gmail.com. Now, and of course radioalu.com. But I'm going to put everything in the description. Now, the whole concept of did Solomon really exist? Because people may say, so what kind of subject is that now? What are you talking about? Did Solomon really exist? But obviously, if you're in the field of consciousness and the field of information, you would know that there are those who, if not stand strongly on their square with, but at least lean somewhat towards the whole concept that, you know, Solomon and most of the biblical characters, if not all, did not exist. Now, obviously, can't be all, because there are people in the Bible that we know are historically sound. Tahaka is mentioned in the Bible, and we know that King Tahaka is, you know, is sound, and a few other individuals. Now, especially to those of us who are Rastafari, because amongst Rastafari now, you would hear that whole narrative as well, that Solomon never existed, and David never existed, and you know, all these, again, the Bible crew, and the whole thing is just a make-up thing, and so on and so. Now you obviously, well, maybe not you, but anyone that is a subscriber, a listener, you have a good comprehension of how I view and understand not only just the Bible, but the history of where the literal book is coming from. I'm not going to go too far into that now, but you know, we understand where it came from. We could tell you from scratch where that came from, you know, and then we understand the secret science coded within it, which is the main purpose for it, you know. And I would say now clearly that the historical aspect of it is still interwoven in the mystery system. I will explain all of that now. Believe me. Now, I'm just saying, but to the regular thought now, again, to many, you know, this whole thing is a fake. Nothing never existed. The Bible, you know the whole stuff. Good. Now, I'm saying, especially as Rastafari, for example, we speak of Haile Selassie. And Haile Selassie the First, you know, we know that he is considered as the Lion of Judah, the conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. And of course, he's given the title the King of Kings. Now, these are biblical titles as such, said to have come from down the lineage of King David. I mean, the Lion of Judah. Judah, when you say Judah, you would be thinking of, okay, Judah, the son of Jacob. You know, the fourth son it is of Jacob, and through his lineage, David and the same Solomon. Okay, King of Kings. Revelation speaks about Christ and the return being the King of Kings. Now, these titles and of the Solomonic lineage, this is the story, you know, that Ethiopia, the lineage of kings, the great majority of them are of descendants of the Solomonic lineage. This is the history, what some people consider the legend in Ethiopia. Now, what I'm saying is this. You can argue that there is no proof. This is the thought, that you have no proof. I like constructive conversations, you know. I don't like scattered talk. I like to be clear with the points that you're making. Trust me. If you try to have a conversation, this is why you can't go around me. You got to be very clear. Don't just try to make a point and you're not getting out and you jump to a next point. No, I see people drag people away in conversation because they're not sticking to the point. You gotta stick to the point and clarify your point. Good. Because what we are saying is there's no evidence, there's no proof. No, especially in the realms of archaeology and these things, to say that Solomon and David existed. But what you're talking about, look it in the Bible. That is why now, okay, all right, fair enough. Well, this is why now we have to understand. So what do you have to validate the Bible? It's the word of God. I mean, come on, like, whoa, I understand that. I can feel you. But in the realms and in the halls of constructive conversation, that can't work. Hey, even if you're right, you gotta come better than just saying that. That cannot work. So I'm saying now, Ethiopia, historically the oldest civilization, the mother of the ancient Kemetic civilization, Ethiopia has a specific type of anciency up to today that is not seen nowhere else. For what you see on the walls of Kemet, with no disrespect, is on the walls. But it's practiced live and direct today, up to now, in Ethiopia. Whatever it is, from the clothing to the rods and the reed, the papyri boats and sailing up the Nile, and whatever you see on the walls down in Nubia, up in Kemet, down in Kemet, any which way you're turning it, you still see it being done in the highlands of Ethiopia. The anciency of the Christ order. And of course, this type of conversation would, of course, bring to the forefront that, well, even all of that Christ thing, that ain't real. Whatever real or real not, Ethiopia is the oldest of it all. And if Ethiopia is the oldest of it all, Ethiopia is not going to create something that is not genuine. But I'm sticking to Solomon. I don't want to go to the Christ order. I want to stick to Solomon and David, obviously. So what we have now is a chronological chart. We have Haile Selassie I, tracing his lineage all the way back to Menelik I and to the Queen of Sheba. Now, this is what I'm saying here. The Ethiopians have not been conquered, even if there are pockets of infiltration over the period of history that may be damped and dampened. I mean, the full, not just 1935, I'm talking about the relentless pursuit of conquest from the European. So at times, even if it's not political conquest, there's certain levels that crept in. That's why even in the time of Gondar, the emperors had to run out the Jesuits and ban them from the country. You comprehend what I'm saying? So Ethiopia, unlike many others or any other, was in a position to keep its history and chronicle. Listen to me, this is the main point. And chronicle, hey, if you were not listening, now is the time to listen.
Ethiopia, unlike any other nation, was in the position to keep its record and chronicle its advance in time. So the rest of the world, who had a gap in the understanding of where they came from, now trying to say that the Ethiopian records are false. Who are you to say that? So we can go from Haile Selassie, and we see before him, we had the empress on the throne, the daughter of Menelik II, Zaditu, the empress. And prior to that, the same Menelik II, and we can go back into the lineage of the kings, the Johannes IV, and Emperor Tuados or Theodore II, and we can go back and go back and go back and go back into history, and not just the lineage of the kings, but family lineage. These records are kept up to today. What's wrong with some of us? Up to today. You have some of our great scholars from Dr. Ben and some of our great scholars, J.A. Rogers, that have printed the chronicle of the Ethiopian kings in some of their great works. Some of the Ethiopian kings have names like Amenhotep. What kind of vibration is that? You got to remember, at certain times, Ethiopia was all of Northeast Africa. Keep all of this in mind. So I'm just showing us that the Ethiopians, specifically in the place known as Ethiopia today, have kept their history unbroken, their lineage, and their lineage would carry you as far as to the Queen of Sheba. So when some people want to say the Queen of Sheba is a myth, I mean, how on earth can I? So you want to tell me I'm going to disrespect my Ethiopian people who have been keeping the record? You ain't been keeping no record nowhere. Even in Europe, the Dark Ages, what kind of record you were keeping? Of how dark it was? So I'm just trying to show you that, to me, especially when it comes to the chronology of the Ethiopian kingship, I think it's a disrespect to deny it. Straight up. Who is you? What's wrong with you? Well, the Solomonic line. Hold on, we don't reach to no Solomon yet. We don't reach to Solomon yet. We stop at Makeda, the Queen of Sheba, from the Candace, Makeda, the Queen of the Seba, all in Arabia. That's her, speaking the Sabian language. So let me show you now. The history says that she went and visited the great king Solomon. She went to Jerusalem and visited the great king Solomon. In the Bible, in the book of Kings, it says that the queen of Ethiopia, the queen of the south, the queen of Sheba came and visited Solomon. You remember when they were asking him in Luke, the Christ, give us a sign of, the end of days, and he said he ain't giving no sign. Except Jonah going into the belly of the beast. And the queen of the south shall rise up in this last judgment. The queen of the south, that's what he says, which I see represents the lineage of the queen of the south, which rose up in the last judgment in Tamawe Haile Selassie. That's in the book of Luke, eh? The queen of the south. Okay. All right. Here it is. Listen. You can't find no evidence of Solomon. Look, they're excavating Queen Makeda's palace right now in Ethiopia. But you can't find no Solomon. No, we never know nobody about no Solomon. You don't know nothing about Solomon. Good. You can't find no proof of David. Fair enough. I ain't arguing with you. But what I know is this. The queen of the south, not according to the Bible now, according to the Ethiopian history, the queen of the south left Ethiopia and went northwards and met somebody and came back with a youth. Now, that is what I'm going to follow. Now, who did she meet? Because Solomon, you see, you got to understand what word. No, first of all, I know his name ain't no Solomon, neither David. This is one of the key things, but it's more the name. But the name is powerful because the name has a tone. When you say King Solomon ruled in Jerusalem, so now we go on to the Wailing Wall, and the curly-headed fellas there shaking at the Wailing Wall. That's where we are, and his temple is destroyed, and the Muslim and the battle for Palestine and all of that. Nah, man, you got the thing mixed up. I have a book called The Biblical Land of Israel. Up to this day, I see some brothers from the Hebrew Israelite movement be sending me all kind of freaky email. What's wrong with you brothers, man? Listen, don't play around with me, you know, man. Do not ramp with me. I don't know who you think I am. You ain't got no doctrine, brother, that can compare to what this man you're looking at has in store in his armory. I haven't spoken nothing to the world. Don't play with me. What's wrong with some of you? You want to see some of the filth that they want to bring to me to say we're supposed to be righteous people and upful people. And the thing is, you know, it's disrespectful. You're not even trying to prove or disprove what I put to the world. Disprove it. Disprove it. It's sick, man. Sick. I'm showing you that according to the Bible, the land known as Israel is not Palestine. Nobody in the world, no one, no human being can prove me wrong. Nobody. Listen, you cannot. So what? And I don't have to try to explain it now because I've done it many times. Just check the videos. We don't have no time to waste, or buy the Biblical Land of Israel, the book, straight. We have this as a joke. From the river Euphrates to the river in Egypt. Come on. And then from the river Euphrates to the Great Sea, the expansion of the land. The Great Sea to the east, and there's a Great Sea to the south. And the East Sea. The East Sea. Don't be playing around. Where's the real Jordan? Jordan River. Never said nothing about no river. The Jordan. They were crossing over the Red Sea the same time they were crossing over Jordan to go into the land. I'm not going to go into the depths of all of that, but what I'm saying is this: Jerusalem is not in no Palestine. If we're going to take it correctly, the ancient Jerusalem is in the region of what you call Egypt today, the Arab Republic. And my foot. Well, prove me wrong. This is the prove me wrong. Don't be sending me no email. I don't want to see nothing. Prove me wrong. Unless you're proving me wrong. You know, and no disrespect to no Hebrew Israelites in general. You know, I really, pardon me. You know, I just hate foolishness, but pardon me. Because I love Hebrew Israelites. You know, check it. But some people, and there's a specific group there, you know, man. I don't want to give no one no props to call no names. They haven't really troubled me, you know. But they're they troubled me. Because they're disrespectful to Rastafari. Yeah, disrespectful. And I don't make it a business to be jumping in no ring with no one and pulling no one out on no media, trying to make no peacock of myself. I don't get into that at all, you know. But if I had to do, if I was a person like that, I would have already done them people. I'm telling you. I don't want to even call their names. I don't want to even tell you what color they wear. You may know who I'm talking about. I would have done them long time. You don't play with me. They diss Haile Selassie. And you see them have some Rasta people in the street. They with the mic and nobody else have mic and the rest them talking. Don't talk to them people there. Don't talk to them. Disrespectful. And the doctrine is weak. Straight up. So whoever get offended, even though I may not be talking to you, if it's your doctrine, hey, everybody have a doctrine. It's weak, yo. Weak. Don't try to tell me nothing about the Rasta doctrine weak, you know. No disrespect to no other Ras. I talking about me. Me. You don't hear it nowhere from no other Ras like you hear it from me. I have a different thing coming here, as some of the Ras will tell you personally. Don't mind them grinning around me, you know, when they meet some of you and you know it. They'll say, oh, that Priest Isaac, that's his own thing. That's what they say. Or he make that up. That's what they say. Why? Because it's not heard anywhere else. It's not written by nobody else. So that's why I know you can't be nothing and try to think you're going to punk me out when it comes to my theology. I'm sound. You hear me here talking about Solomon now. I'm sound. I'm sound. I don't just go along with the crowd. Oh, there's no J. J just came into 1600s, and I don't follow these things. I have a clear understanding of reality. I don't pick a side and say, okay, it's this one and he got it right and all of them kind of stuff. So brothers, respect yourself. That's all I'm saying. You cannot, no one can, if you're using the Bible. Then they have a next set. Oh, well, the Bible is a plagiarized. No, hold on. That's not what I'm talking about. You could be talking the truth, but that's not the point. Even if the Bible was written by Mother Goose, the point is, according to the narrative of the Bible, whoever wrote the Bible, whether it be word of God or not, according to the description of the land called Israel in the Bible, we are talking about Africa and Arabia. That's the point. So that changes everything. Jerusalem is the city on the side of the north. You see that whole northeast of Africa region there? That's the city of the great king. That's why the royalty from the Mediterranean coming all the way down to the source of the Nile, all the way up into the Ethiopian highlands, shows you what's going on with the richness of monarchy from that time till this time. From that time up to this time, it is just pure kingship in ancient Africa, Northeast Africa to be more precise. I mean, Africa is a kingship country from that time till this time. So I'm saying now, some of the individuals that say, well, Solomon never really existed, Hezekiah existed though. Sometimes I wonder that, and those of you who are in the knowledge, you've heard of that. This is the Hezekiah seal. You can research it. I don't know how good you can see it here. That's a Hezekiah seal. Now, what is interesting about this Hezekiah seal is that the Hezekiah seal has on an ankh. And Hezekiah seal has the kepra, the same dung beetle, resurrected beetle. We just did a video on kepra, relating it to Haile Selassie the First. And what I'm saying here, the cycle of the sun and everything, very Kemetic. Hezekiah seal. Very Kemetic. This was discovered supposedly just a few years ago, nothing too long. I don't think it's 10 years since they've discovered that Hezekiah seal, a small little thing, with Kemetic origin, with the Ankh, with Kepra. So a lot of the scholars now, in the conscious realms would say, well, Solomon, they're still saying Solomon never existed. Okay, but Hezekiah did, because they found evidence. Now, yesterday, Hezekiah didn't exist neither. Remember, nobody in the Bible existed. Nobody. But now the wise of us now, the wise ones amongst us, the well-read ones, the learned ones amongst us, all of a sudden, nobody still don't exist except Hezekiah. Okay, that's what science is really, you know. That this is not religion. This is science, you know. Science, if you can't prove it, it don't exist. That's really what science is. So a lot of us who are conscious, you don't have to be disrespectful to them. A lot of us who are conscious, we are scientists in it, you know, including myself, you know. But I have a certain level of consciousness within of overstanding. Because obviously, as a sensible scientist, if Hezekiah exists, something else, following the Hezekiah narrative, something else must be behind Hezekiah of interest. Don't just say, well, okay, nobody exists except Hezekiah, because you found that. And then they found, I don't have it there right now, but they found the seal of Jezebel. You can look it up. They found the seal of Jezebel, so she exists now. What about her husband, Ahab? Well, no, they didn't find nothing of him, so he don't exist. All right. So, one of the main reasons, I'm not trying to entertain no one. One of the main reasons why Solomon and David does not exist or do not exist is because you cannot find proof. That's a good stance. Again, just saying the Bible, I understand how you feel. To some that's good enough. Yeah, but okay, when we delve into the Bible itself now, and even the Ethiopian has the oldest version there. The Ethiopian have the oldest set of Bible. Yeah. But that don't take away from the fact that they were transcripted and translated from other older books. And there's nothing wrong with that. The same books that they translate the Bible from, were translated from older scrolls. The same scrolls and the scrolls that we say we love so much. In Kemet, we have the pyramid texts. We have the coffin texts. We have the papyri of Ani and others. We have the Book of Gates. And they all come down the line and they all tell the same story or a similar story, basically the same thing in a different time, a different era, with different names. But nobody argued that they plagiarize each other. No, because the time was changing and they, if you want to say, amended it and modified it, that's all. But we glorify all them books down the line. But when it comes to the Bible now, all of a sudden, well, no, something wrong here. When the Ethiopians have the oldest version. The Ethiopian version, remember the Ethiopians were there when they were translating these things even in Alexandria, from the papyri, inside the temple of Delphi, or whatever we call the Serapeum man. He was there with the Ptolemy or Ptolemy, however you want to call it, translating. The Ethiopians were there. Don't make them fool you. They have the oldest version of the Bible. This ain't no joke, not no Septuagint. They have the oldest version of the Bible, the Ethiopians. So I'm telling you, when you read the hymn of Akhenaten, the hymns of Akhenaten is similar to some of the Psalms of David, or some of the Psalms, let's put it that way. Because Psalms 104, if I'm not mistaken, is not necessarily described as a Psalm of David, is it? Because you see, the mystic is now, and even if it is, the mystic is some of the Psalms belong to Moses. Akhenaten is considered by some to be the Moses that led the Exodus. That's not necessarily my view, you know. I'm just telling you what some people say, you know, and they explain why, and I'm sure you've come across that theory. That's all I'm saying. But how mystic, the fact that Akhenaten has writings that are exact to that of David, Solomon, and probably Moses. Wow. So if Akhenaten has a psalm or a hymn that is the exact same as the hymn to Solomon or the hymn of David, and Akhenaten is before them by just a few hundred years according to what we are supposed to believe. So something could be just a bit off according to what we're supposed to believe. So that means they stole it from Akhenaten. Okay. Maybe there was a template even before Akhenaten that he followed, but let's just say they stole it from Akhenaten. Okay. Are you sure Akhenaten's writing was stolen by the people that created David? Or maybe Akhenaten was David? Akhenaten was David. Now, before you scorn me, I'm going to be clear. You know, I'm very straight. I tell you exactly what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Akhenaten is David. Hey, listen, I'm not saying I know everything, you know. And please don't, because people believe that. The more you know is the more you realize what you don't know. You understand? So we ain't know nothing. But I'm just showing you. Is it hard to consider that Akhenaten could be David? Just to consider. It may not seem as if it fits into the biblical narrative, you know. But watch me good. No, take your time, take your time. Just take your time and listen. We're trying to explain ourselves here. I am telling you again that Jerusalem and Bethlehem are not where they are supposed to be. So what they have, I was in the Bahamas the other day and there's this advertisement on the radio. Come to Jerusalem in the Bahamas. It's like a theme park that a pastor set up. You know, I didn't go, but he's saying that when you go there, you feel as if you're in Jerusalem yourself. Everything there, the Wailing Wall and Calvary and the Tomb of Christ, a heap of thing there. I say, yeah, that's the same thing that was done in the Holy Land. But anyway, don't get me wrong, it is a holy land. It is a part of the whole land. But to try to square out that little spot that you can hardly see and pretend as if that's where the whole game was taking place. No. It may have had a part to play, but that's not what they want you to. No, that's not it. I'm showing you that the same Ethiopians with the oldest Bible says that Christ was born in a cave in Ethiopia. We proved that already. We proved that Bethlehem is on the western side of the River Nile according to 2 Chronicles chapter 33 verse 14. We proved that already. You can't disprove that Bethlehem is to the west of the River Nile. The Gihon, the Blue Nile to be precise, in Ethiopia. You cannot dispute it. So Christ was born in a cave in Ethiopia. Jerusalem is a bit to the north, man. Jerusalem is a bit to the north of Bethlehem. Come on. We in Kemet, man. We in Kemet. So if Akhenaten's Psalms and David's Psalm look alike, both Akhenaten and David, if you want to say, have names that you've never heard about. David, no ancient king have no one name. What, David? That's your name? Akhenaten has many names, you know that. Amenhotep IV, Akhenaten, and a lot of names, funerary names and so. His son Tutankhamun, who's seen to be the most wealthiest of all the kings. Tutankhamun. Yes, his life and what we know of him doesn't seem to equate to that of Solomon. I'm not saying that they are, you know, man. I'm not saying that they are. But I know for sure the story that we've been given in the Middle East, that's not it. But I'm showing you where history draws the line, because we came to the border of history. Listen to me, man. We came to the border of history with Queen Candace, Makeda. Nobody don't try to tell me she not real and she don't exist. That's, come on. Not because the Bible, she's in the Bible, she is in the Bible. King Taharka is in the Bible too. And this is why many of the Kemetic kings, listen to the science, you listening? Many of the Kemetic kings married wives from up the River Nile in Nubia and in Ethiopia. So that whole science, it's a science, you know. It's not just a woman come and meet Solomon for a few days and he put some pepper and salt on her food and she drink the water. That is allegory. It is allegory. I'm not afraid to say that. It is allegory. But you know how we think. Within the allegory, there's a real historical event. So the ancient Kemetic kings always marry, or sometimes marry, the Nubian woman from the south. Sometimes the queen is blacker than the king. You understand the science there? So to see the Nubian queen, the Cushite queen as such, coming down north to meet the Kemetic king, Solomon, and that's another thing again now, Sol Amun. Because it's no Solomon. Solomon, you see, you lose it. It's Sol Amun. It's Amun. It's Amun. It is two words that make up this man's name. One of them is Sol, and one of them is Amun. Let's forget about Sol for a moment. Amun is a Kemetic word. It's the ram-headed god Amun. So Solomon name is made up of Amun. That's for sure. That's for sure, man. Man, Solomon was baptized in the Gion. According to the Bible, David tell the man them jump on a donkey and go down in the river and baptize him and come back. It was no 3-month trip, you know. He went down to the river and come back before the sun set, you know, man. You can't leave Jerusalem and no donkey. You one on the donkey and 2 men walking next to you and go all the way to Egypt, not even Egypt, the Gion is in Ethiopia. Go all the way down to Ethiopia and dip your head in the River Nile and come back up and reach back to Jerusalem or Bethlehem where you were before the sunset. That make any sense? So when David tells Solomon and the crew, just go and dip in the Gion and come back and you're baptized, that means it was not too far. We have to stop it, man. It was not too far. So Sol Amun is Amun. Amun. Oh, that's your theory. Yes, it is. Thank you. I hope you remember that in the future. Amun. Sol Amun. Sol is who? The sun. Akhenaten took. That's mystic with what Akhenaten did, you know. Some of you disrespect Akhenaten as well, you know. And we're coming for that soul. Believe me. I hear some of you great ones dissing Akhenaten. Imagine that. Solomon is Ra-Amun, because Sol is Ra. Akhenaten kept the Aten son. Akhenaten kept Ra. With hands now, Akhenaten kept Ra. But Ra is Amun. Some ones, you don't even know what Akhenaten did. A lot of us, we don't understand what Akhenaten did. You know, even in that time. But and let me say, we don't even understand what really happened in that time. We just think we're following the narrative properly. No. So we have Ra Amun. Amun Ra. Solomon. Amun Ra. So I'm just showing you that, especially for you young ones now, don't just get led away with people's idea. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. Yes, maybe the character called Solomon that they tried to paint for us in this fable light is, I could agree. I could agree. But as I said, the Queen of Sheba left Ethiopia and she went and she met someone, some great king somewhere, and brought back some dynasty that is referred to today in its Latin trickle down English form as the lineage of Solomon. But it's deeper than that. That's why I would like to tell you that Haile Selassie is not the King of Kings. What? No, he's not. He's Negus and Negas. Oh, that's Amharic for King of Kings. No, that ain't Amharic for nothing. That's Amharic, yes, but not for no king. What's wrong with you? Maybe King of Kings is English for Negus and Negas. I don't know. I don't know the English business. But he's Negus and Negas. Words can play with your mind. So you can talk about the lineage of Solomon and David all you want. He's Dawit in America again. And in the different languages, the names change. But we know, outside of just changing names, history shows that the Queen of Sheba went northwards and visited someone. She went to Jerusalem, a place called Jerusalem. But where is Jerusalem? It's not the Jerusalem on the map. So I'm just saying to my brothers and sisters, this is a serious science that we're playing with here. Some of us, we think so linear that it's either this or that. Either this or that. Either believe. Some people argue with you, say, listen, if you're using the Bible, you have to use all the Bible and you can't take out none. What kind of dead talk is that? What's wrong with you? You sound like a slave master. What kind of mentality is that? Huh? You need surgical gloves to handle that when you turn in them pages, Rasta. That's how serious that is. So I would hope that I have opened up the mind frame. Some may say, but you didn't answer the question. I mean, it's not answering no question, you know. It's opening up the mind frame, the possibility to think critically, even in this time and space. So as I said, the fairy tale Solomon business, and even the full narrative of the Solomon in the Bible, a lot of it is allegory. A lot of it is allegory. A lot of it is pure symbolism. I'm telling you. Because you see, that's the trick. When you jump and say, oh yes, I believe in Solomon, then they believe in all the allegory and they put it in a literal sense and how much sheep and goat and how much thing he sacrificed for God and all of that. When we already showed you in other documentaries that these ancient ones never sacrificed no animals to God. No way. But we're putting it in a proper perspective now. Sol Amun, Amun Ra. There's something deeper than what we have been given on the surface. And that is what the mystery system is all about. So now, as Ras is now, to you as Ras, be careful. Don't disrespect the lineage of Haile Selassie. I know some of you are quick to do it now. You're quick. Because you've been fed by this and that and the other, who they themselves don't even have the comprehension. I am telling you, be careful. The king say he's of the lineage of Solomon, eh? That's what he say. Don't play around. In fact, one girl asked him in the United States, Your Imperial Majesty, how far can you trace your descendant? And that was his answer. We are of the lineage of Solomon. Check it. That's not how far. Okay, you could say we have the lineage of David. We have the lineage of Abraham. You could say all that. But we have the lineage of Solomon. And I'm going to just tell you as well, you got to keep in mind. If you say, is there anybody in the world that's of the lineage of Solomon, who you think you're going to call the King of Kings? Negus and Negas. Now you must understand that modern Freemasonry reveres Solomon. Solomon is considered, not David now, Solomon is considered the great architect. So when you see all these Freemasonic organizations. That's why some people try to pretend and say and let the world believe Haile Selassie is a Mason. You know, we have a video to do on that as well. You see all the Masonic entities, from governments to institutions, coming and placing all the royal, the royal elements on the emperor, the cross of Victoria, and the knighthood of this, and the scepter of that, and the doctorate of all kind of thing the emperor is getting, and all the Freemasons come and bow at his feet. All the Freemasons come and adore him. All the heads of government, states, kings, and other emperors, pay homage to the great Solomon that was amongst them. So you got to be careful before you spit it out too fast. At least learn what it's really all about. We're dealing with secret science here. We're not dealing with once upon a time and happily ever after. We're dealing with secret science here. So the emperor represents that Solomon, the master builder, the great architect, he who they all revere. He started this stuff, and they know that. That is why somehow it's crept in for you to deny that. Solomon don't exist, but Hezekiah does. Don't get too trapped in the science. I can understand that you want to be scholarly. So do I. But let's be realistic as well. If Hezekiah exists, I mean, come on. You can also be analytical. But as I said, it's more than just a guessing game. You have the Amenhotep the first, Amenhotep the second, third, Amenhotep the fourth, Akhenaten. You check these great kings here. I am positive amongst that lineage of kings before and maybe after, there is a royal ruler that gave that seed to Makeda, the queen of Sheba. And that lineage came down to Ethiopia. And that king was Amun-Ra, the same Ra-Amun that we now refer to. Whoever that king is, he is the Solomon of that same book. And that's just the reality. Holy Manuel Selassie, Jah Rastafari. So give thanks. And remember, Sunday the 11th of March, Radio Anu, 12 midday, we will be broadcasting the full 3-day heritage conference that took place at a Kefren in the Bahamas. The full 3-day conference, so you'll definitely want to listen to that, and that'll be this Sunday, 12 midday. Will be after the anthem. We'll be broadcasting that, as well as on radioanu.com. Remember, the link is right there in the description, radioanu.com, radioanu.com, the link right there in the description. You can just go into it and press it, and you're right there at radioanu.com. And just letting the people know once again, we already have the first prizes, first prize for each of the segments that we are working with, each of the sections that we are working with. For the junior and the intermediate, we already have the RCA Voyager tablet, 12-inch, what kind of inch it is? 7-inch multi-touch display, and a whole heap of things there already bought and ready to go. So we're thankful for all those who have contributed as well. And as I said, all of that, we need to be more serious in this mission that we are on here right now, as far as the upliftment of our people and upliftment of of our society. I'm not afraid to say, it's a give work. We contribute to, not to ourselves. We contribute to many other things. We don't have to come and blow no trumpet and let you know everything we do. So it is an aspect. There are many times I say, look, we're gonna take the donation and contribution narrative away, you know. And the Spirit always come to me and said, never stop, because that's a part of the lesson. That's a part of the lesson, the teaching of it, that especially, no, for real, you know, we just don't teach it. But that's a part of the lesson, that those who receive strength spiritually, now this is outside of essay competition, this is in general. Those who receive a specific strength, especially to the point where they can say out of their mouth that, wow, this has changed me, and this has not only changed me, you know, but continue to nourish me and keep me and all of that kind of stuff. An individual literally within their own spirit is supposed to literally support that which they consider a lifeline supply to them. That only makes sense to me. And that is more than just because of great works and all of that. So this is something very important, and one day we may go deep into that. But when you touch these subjects, and that's why we don't touch them, you know, people get offended and, oh, well, you know, this and that, and things are hard and all of that. Nobody's things are hard. But anyway, let me leave it at that. So yes, so you want to definitely contribute towards what well, the essay competition, the deadline is now still. And I must say, don't feel away with the 365. We done spend, listen to me, we done spend much more than $365, brothers. We already spend more than $365 just in promoting this essay competition alone. So don't try to think nothing going on there. So what I'm saying is, you are free to still contribute to this or contribute to Radio Anu. That's another thing. We don't got too much people at all assisting with RadioAnu.com, when we clearly showed you we do not want to make Radio Anu a subscribed radio station. I don't know if I'm saying the wrong thing. We could set up Radio Anu that you have to pay a monthly fee to listen. We don't want to do that. And we have a lot of listeners, man. Wow, the listenership is growing so much. And yet still, no one is donating to make sure we keep Radio Anu on the air. We pay every month to keep it on the air, you know, so that if you're having a bad day, if you're upset, you know, you could just turn on the Radio Anu and within 10 minutes you feel up. Everybody know that. Everyone know that no matter what religion you are, no matter what you do, you can turn on to Radio Anu and get some sort of inspiration. Oh my, at least assisting, donating to Radio Anu. Come on. We got to do a little better than that, man. We really off. We are off as a people, man. We don't even consider or even care about the little ones, the children. We talk too much. That's why people can't talk to me. You know? You can't give me too much talk. Especially when they say, boy, things bad with our youths. We got to come together and do. Come on, hush your mouth. Don't let them come to me. Not unless you're doing something for real, you know. Then I would listen. But too much of the talk. Yeah, give thanks again, my brothers and sisters, for your presence. You know, it's been a wonderful session. And as I'm speaking to you now, the sun is coming up. I'm just going to prepare myself to actually go on a radio interview, as I said today, right now. I'll be on the Sly J Show on ZDK Radio. So if you got the links, you can tune into that. Give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life. Remember, all my information is in the description. Email address, Priest Isaac, PRIESTISAAC 27 @gmail.com. Or you can WhatsApp me at 1-268-728-3162. Give thanks. RadioAnu.com. Tune in now, man, and listen in, man. Enough inspiration. As we're going through the 40 days and 40 nights of fasting, you know, you get a higher vibration. Enough night being different vibes, man. And let me just say as well, look forward to a mighty interview that I did with Priest Zebulon Anafu. I did a mighty interview with Priest Zebulon Anafu from Ghana, of the EABIC. I did a mighty interview with Honorable Priest Earl, Priest Coty, and Priest Flegel.
and I'll be uploading them very soon. So you just keep looking out for these spectacular and marvelous interviews. I have a few things to bring to you on that level. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, I, Jah, Rastafari, give thanks for your presence, and I really appreciate you in all doings and saying, I really do. Blessed love.